Hello, welcome to Titan Games. Today I wanted to update you guys on what's been going on with my team. As you know, there's been a lack of cup games being uploaded to the channel, and that is simply because I decided to actually leave hg.red. We're not a big team or anything, but for me it was a hard decision to make, specifically as I was the one leading. If you followed the team throughout our games, you'll notice a plethora of +1s we've always had. Being an in-game leader with this happening isn't easy, especially when you're trying to come up with new setups, revise old things on past maps. There's always a gap to fill, and it's just beyond frustrating when you put in the time but lose because the new edition isn't aware of the strat. The breaking point for me was when MJR joined, but then Roy had to leave due to his new job. So after trialling a bunch of people, which is, if anyone's been in a team, they know this is the most tedious, boring process that any team can go through. So we ended up settling with Tampster, getting Tampster back in. We had this 5-man lineup for a while, which is why I was finally happy and, you know, preparing everything we needed to go over to move forward and improve. Down the line though, and after more games with the new lineup, it was clear that MJR and Tampster didn't get along. Both had different ways of approaching the game. They tried working it out, but it was just too much in the end. And the inevitable +1 was back, with MJR actually leaving the team. This was just a real motivation killer, and I feel there's a lot of pressure put on me as the in-game leader just to carry on and continually have to go over everything again and again with each and every player that decides to come and go. It got to the point where I just didn't feel like calling anything anymore because nothing would just go how it's supposed to be. I'm not the type of IGL that has a loose style. I much prefer having setups for every map. Making sure the team is being efficient with nade usage to gain map control, having set executes on the offense and the defenses for certain sites. I think that's why constantly being +1 is affecting me more than it would any other IGL. It's just not my style. I can't stand playing puggy CS because when it doesn't work and then you're left with nothing to fall back on, the blame mostly falls on the IGL for not having anything. Don't get me wrong though, it is possible to win games by just pugging and, you know, just out-aiming the enemy team by doing silly stuff. But if you want to compete against any good teams in the future, like other teams that are playing CS with a proper mindset, like structured play, you are literally just wasting your time and not practicing correctly. I didn't want to lead the team with just a half-assed effort being demotivated, so I decided it was best if I just left. I don't think it would have been right on the other guys for me to continue in that mindset, as they definitely deserve an IGL that is motivated. You know, otherwise it's just a waste of everyone else's time, and, you know, that would just be selfish. Looking back on the team, I definitely had a bunch of fun. We caused a number of upsets in the UK scene, but specifically at the I-59 LAN, which was an awesome experience. Honestly, I haven't been to LAN in a while, and that was so nice to get back into it and actually compete at a LAN. Made some cool upsets, even with all of the stress of being an IGL, you know, trying to manage the team's personalities, their play styles, having set stuff to go over on every map, making sure people are doing things properly. I'd still say it was all worth it, and that playing in a competitive team is probably the best experience you can get out of Counter-Strike. Talking about CS teams in general, if you've been thinking about creating your own team, I know I've seen some comments in my previous cup matches of people saying, oh, this inspired me to actually go ahead and try and create a team and compete. Then I would say, you know, definitely do it, definitely get involved. It is an awesome experience. It seems bad timing for myself, but Gfinity have just launched a new platform called the Challenger Series. This allows players from any level to enter, climb the ranks, and eventually make it to the Gfinity Elite Series. The Elite Series consists of 8 top-tier professional organisations that are yet to be announced. These teams each get to select 2 players from the Challenger Series to join up to their roster. This gives amateur players like you and me a chance to compete with the best in their region, but the main attraction is that you'll be competing on LAN inside the Gfinity Arena in London. So if you're an amateur team and are confident you have what it takes to make it to the top, this really is a great way to get your name out there and a chance to meet some of the top players from your region. The great thing is that the Gfinity Challenger Series is open worldwide, so everyone can participate. Check it out if you want to get involved. I think it's an awesome opportunity. The link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.